When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thought that crosses your mind? How do you think your thoughts may set that tone for the frequency that you carry throughout the day? Today, we're going to be talking about that. I'm Meredith McCarthy. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and also I'm passionate about training people to understand more about hypnosis. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things to do with frequency of thinking. And today we have Teresa Saunders, who's going to be joining me to talk through this topic for the day.
Hi, Meredith.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Good. I actually wanted to share something. I popped into YouTube this morning and there was these two guys and they were talking about Vipassana meditation, like silent meditation. And they shared their journey and how uncomfortable it was and how the thoughts would just like stream through. And there's something like 60,000 thoughts a day that we have as human beings. I thought, whoa, there's a lot of traffic going on there. And when you sit in silence, you really become more aware of it. And it got me thinking. And if we think about, waking up every morning with that intention of what thought do I want to start my day with? I think we do have some power over that. We can set intentions up for how we want to journey a day. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Meredith. I think first thing in the morning is one of the most precious times of the day where we can actually set intentions as we wake up because, we're in that similar state to hypnosis as we're coming out of our sleep and moving forward with our day. So it makes a big impact of our first thoughts in the morning to shape our day. Huge impression.
Well, when we look at how do we go to bed at night with that intention, that is something that we can start to potentially practice. Just go, okay, well, if I'm going to set myself up for the best day ahead, why not plan for that and do a dress rehearsal now before I go to sleep? And some people believe that that has a huge effect on rewiring the brain and how we are going to turn up. So we are more likely then to run a better program, more mindful program. With help with, I guess, hypnosis. Hypnosis is that focused state of mind, right? So if we focus that state of mind with intention, we can definitely direct our thoughts in a better way. What I also found interesting about today's tuning into their podcast on Vipassana and the stream of conscious thinking, that you are not your thoughts. That this was the takeaway that they had, that we are not our thoughts, but we can direct the thought. So instead of the thought coming in unfiltered, we can start to ask ourselves how that thought is serving you, how is that thought affecting you in your daily life?
Yeah, we can do a check-in with ourselves, can't we, throughout the day or the morning? And if you think, the day's not really going quite the way I actually was planning for it to go, and then check in with yourself. Well, what are your feelings? What are your thoughts? And then you can start to look at them and change that pattern.
Mm-hmm. I think for a long time I've been teaching people meditation, and they talked about a single pointed attention as one of the first journeys of doing Vipassana meditation. It's a silent retreat, okay? So you have to sort of focus on this area here with the breath, the moving in and out. And that's what you do for the first 3 days, for 10 hours a day. So now I don't expect anyone else out there to do that in their daily life. It is a pretty big task. However, we can start to go, okay, well, instead of the stream of thinking just being a stream of thought, let's imagine we could use a mindfulness technique to draw ourselves back to intentional focus. What might that be for you? So I don't want to be overly prescriptive, but it could be just simply coming back to your breath, or it could be feeling your feet on the ground, or it could be noticing your body and how it's sitting or standing. So you're kind of coming back into the moment in time. Now, what do you think happens when we do that intentionally? What's your kind of thoughts around that?
We're changing our vibrational frequency to be in a more positive and a lower, calmer frequency rather than a higher frequency. You know, we're swapping from the parasympathetic to the sympathetic, or the sympathetic to the parasympathetic, and vice versa, depending on which way your thoughts were. And that has a big effect on our well-being.
If we imagine we've been in a bit of a funk or mood, you know, about something, maybe it hasn't gone our way. The other thing that these two guys were talking about with the Vipassana is about letting go and accepting what is. And I thought, you know, again, you don't have to be a seasoned meditator to get these concepts. I think these are quite useful. In a hypnotic journey, I like to invite clients to understand that the nature of thought is impermanent. It's not a permanent thing. They are floating through. It's just a moment, but that moment will pass. And if we can train our brain, a bit like dog training, I liken it to this. So if you want to train a dog to be a good dog, you need to reward the dog. You go, sit, and it sits, and you go, well done. You know, you get excited, and the dog wags its tail, and it knows it's done well, and it wants to do it again. We don't focus on all the things we don't want the dog to do. We are going to be much more efficient at dog training 101 when we focus on commending the dog for when it does something well and giving the dog the easiest, most simple instruction. So when we're looking at our own inner dog, it's kind of like an untrained mind off lead. It's going everywhere all of the time. And it is absolutely, I guess, torrential for some. And it can cause anxiety because those thought forms that are forming have energy attached to them, right?
Yep. Then it changes your frequency, and too much high frequency then becomes stress to the body and has its toll on itself. Yeah.
So if we can heal the mind, if we use that analogy and we go heal, and we come back to a point of intention, then we go, well done, good. That's the practice. It's bringing yourself back to something that is more neutral, potentially, as a thought, rather than having an opinion all the time, but to come back to a more neutral position can be a more restful mind. Because we are very quick to form opinions about all sorts of things, right?
This is true. Yes, we are. And I mean, coming back to the morning and, you know, first thoughts of the morning and how to shape our day, one of the things I actually do with my clients is sort of say, well, how would your day like to be? You know, what music do you like? So you could get up in the morning, you could put that type of music on to lift you and start moving you. You could dance around in the morning to get yourself ready. You know, make it fun, lift your energy levels.
So for me, you know, I like to do an inspirational YouTube dip and, you know, learn something new every day. So that's one of my routines in the morning. And I also did my little wee instrumental pan drum sort of 20-minute workout this morning. So that was fun. So when we're kind of looking at setting yourself up for the day, being intentional and thinking, yeah, what's the first thoughts I want leading? And let's do that dress rehearsal before time. Because then we're getting into the habit of training our mind how it can serve us best.
For sure.
Coming back to that idea of silent retreat, I don't know if anyone else has watched the Eat, Pray, Love. Did you ever watch that one?
I've watched it and I've read the book as well. Yes. Yeah.
There was a scene in there where she comes into this meditation, and there were some people were on silent retreat, and they had this little badge saying, I can't speak to you, you know. And while she was observing all these amazing people meditating, going about their day, she made up stories about what their life must be like and how much more peaceful they are, and they've got it together and all sorts of things. And then as soon as this woman was able to speak, out it came, and it wasn't that at all. It was nowhere near what she had going on about this person she was observing from afar. And I think it's a good lesson for us sometimes that we can look outside to the world and we can compare ourselves very harshly about who we are as human beings, and that, it's not good enough and we are to this and to that, and not good enough in the way of according to whom and what. Like, sometimes we make up these stories and they can really take that self-esteem down a number of notches. So, what are the first thoughts that maybe are going to grow your self-esteem, your feeling of wellness, your feeling of right to be here in the world, enjoying your journey? All of those sort of thoughts have a positive frequency about them.
We don't know what anybody else's journey is going on, and we have no idea, the same as others don't know what's going on with us, but we can control how we feel and how we set up our day or change our day. If it started off okay and then something's happened and it's blipped, then it doesn't have to stay down like that. We can change it. We can flip it again.
Absolutely. So when we're kind of looking at that idea of being in control rather than out of control, we can absolutely brain train. And I think hypnotic suggestion, instruction, the clearest instruction wins. And this is how hypnotherapists work with people. They instruct in a very clear way what is going to happen next, highlighting the high points and thinking about the energy that that's going to bring, and maybe a positive emotional outcome. So I'm going to feel empowered, I'm going to feel confident, I'm going to feel strong, or I'm going to feel proud of myself. Now, even though it hasn't happened yet, we can absolutely invite that to be a reality well before time. So coming back to that morning ritual, I invite you all to think, how do you want to start your day? Maybe put in the comments below some ideas that you're going to action, so you have some external witnesses there. Share it with us.
Well, it's a good thing to do, is to have some external witnesses.
Absolutely. So I think, when we're looking at changing the frequency of thinking and improving that thought frequency into a more empowered one, maybe even look at what are some areas that you feel you're lacking luster, you're just not feeling so great in. And does that need to be a belief that is time to be shifted? Is there a belief that you need to shed? Talking about shedding. Now, we were having a little wee celebration for the end of the year for the association that we belong to for our hypnotherapy. And one of the members was sharing about this technique where you're journeying someone through, and you say, go through your life and just think about the things that you're ready to let go of. And just do it. And then just leading them into silence to just go and do that process. And once you've done that, just nod your head. And this particular colleague of ours, they were really, really shocked at how effective that was. It actually changed the way they were working with their clients. And I think when we're thinking about thoughts and the frequency of thoughts, let's imagine that could be something you could do every day and just go, hey, what is something that's been rattling around that I'm done dealing with, that I want to let go? And just let yourself do it. Let yourself fall into silence and just kind of go, yeah, I'm going to imagine myself letting that go, and then move into your day. So is there anything else that you'd like to sort of share about daily rituals and, how to start the day, Teresa?
I think really just a capture of what you've actually sort of said is maybe set up the night before of how you'd like your day to begin. You could you can journal and let go what's no longer serving you as well, which is a release. Then in the morning, wake up with that positive mindset and do something that helps you move forward with that positivity for your day. And and let it go. Just let go. Don't worry about things. Just let them go. It was a moment, a tiny little moment out of your day. Just let it go. Don't let it affect the rest of your day or your life. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something. Thanks for having me along, Meredith. And I'd just like to remind the viewers to press like, subscribe and share on these. If they're finding them fun or know people that would be interested, then share along with your friends and family.
And if you're interested in learning more about hypnosis, go visit the website nzach.ac.nz and check out what we have to offer for the new year coming. So thank you everyone for tuning in for another week, and hope to see you back here next week. Bye for now.
Bye.